All right, Buck, let's talk some breakout candidates here. Guys we're looking at in the preseason that I think are going to generate some buzz. And I'm not just talking about media buzz. I'm talking about our buddies in the personnel departments around the league. We're always in contact. And you know those texts are coming. You're gonna see that text about, whoa,
Mm-hmm.
I was a little low on that guy, or this guy jumped off the screen. Who do you like?
Let's go to the AFC West. You already alluded to. We're going to go to that division because it's loaded. But the Kansas City Chiefs, Sky Moore. All the conversation around the Chiefs has been about Tyreek Hill and what the Kansas City Chiefs offense is going to do without an explosive playmaker like Tyreek Hill. Well, we talked about it leading up to the draft. Sky Moore is a guy that is terrific with the ball in his hands. He not only is terrific as a catch and run specialist, he can take the top off the defense. He can do so many things on the perimeter that he, to me, is a natural fit to slide into that spot. I know they have Mecole Hardman, but I think with a strong preseason, Sky Moore is going to earn a ton of opportunities to touch the rock and be a big part of this offense.
You know, one of the things I think about the Chiefs in that offense, you mentioned Sky Moore, and we talk about what they lost with some of that speed and explosiveness with Tyreek Hill. You know, Marquez Valdez-Scantling can give you some of the vertical stretch. He doesn't have all the change of direction explosiveness. Nobody does. That Tyreek Hill does. But one area I think they'll be better when you talk about Sky Moore and Juju Smith-Schuster, these are tackle breakers, Buck. So you get the ball in their hands, they're going to challenge your secondary to get those guys on the ground. They're not easy tackles.
No, they're certainly not easy to bring down. And when we think about this game, and everyone wants to know, how is this offense going to change? DJ, I think you kind of gave us a little peek at what's going to happen. More of those quick rhythm throws, more of those short crossing routes where guys are running across the field horizontally, breaking tackles, picking up gains. I don't think it'll be the vertical offense that we've seen in the past, but I believe they can be just as effective because I still believe this is a fast offense, and fast guys in space can give people problems if you take bad angles.
Teams switched. You saw it last year, right? Everybody played too high against Kansas City Chiefs. We're going to keep the ball in front. So I think that Brett Veach and Andy Reid got together and said, okay, if they're going to keep everything in front, we need guys that can do stuff with the ball in their hands after the catch. If we're not going to be able to play over the top, if we've got to play underneath, let's stress the defense. Let's challenge the defense and get some guys that are tough to bring down. I think they've done that. I like your pick there of Sky Moore as somebody to watch there in the preseason. Also, real quick before we move on to mine, brings me to your point that you mentioned with your time in Green Bay and always pursuing guys with return value and return skills because of the importance of run after catch. Obviously, you were there with Andy Reid.
Yeah, Andy Reid certainly understands that and values that. And you look at the guys that we're talking about, all of them have some kind of return experience. I think the only one that I don't know for sure who has that is MVS. But Juju Smith-Schuster, Sky Moore, Mecole Hardman, all those guys are terrific with the ball in their hands. I believe this offense is going to be a little more quick rhythm, get the ball out, look for the running backs to be involved in the screen game. But I do expect Sky Moore after the preseason to be one of the guys that we're talking about being a big part of this offense in 2022.
All right, you went offense. I'm going to go defense. I'm going to go to the Dallas Cowboys, and we talked about him before. But Sam Williams is an edge rusher. Randy Gregory's gone. Somebody's going to have to fill that void. We've kind of speculated, okay, maybe Micah Parsons gets a little more work off the edge. I know Dan Quinn said there's going to be some games where, they're going to cut Micah Parsons loose and let him do that for an entire game. But Sam Williams is going to give them the flexibility to keep Micah off the ball because he's such a dynamic rusher. I mean, we talked about it, had some off-the-field issues. That's why he fell in the draft. But I don't know that either one of us are surprised with all the notoriety he's getting during training camp, all the buzz that he's creating. This guy is a nightmare, Buck. We saw him in a couple All-Star games, and he's going to be a problem, especially when you have so much attention going to the other side.
So much attention, and what I love about the pick, Sam Williams' first step quickness, his explosiveness only enhances the speed that we already see on this Dallas Cowboys defense. He is one of the guys to keep an eye on because he could be that next guy that you look up and he has 10 sacks on his rookie season because he is so terrific coming off the ball. And you have an opportunity, him, and you bring Anthony Barr in, Micah Parsons. You have all these stand-up, move-around guys who have athleticism and playmaking ability. The defense, they have pieces that are really intriguing and I like, and they need this defense to play well because offensively it appears that they've taken a step back.
Yeah, and we'll see what that looks like for the Dallas Cowboys as preseason gets underway. I'm looking forward to their joint practices with the Chargers. Those would be fun to watch with all the talent on those two rosters. We were out there at the Chargers just the other day. If you missed that episode, I encourage you to go back and listen to it as we got a chance to visit with some of their top players as well as their general manager, Tom Telesco. All right, Buck, this is the time where we get to see these rookies on an NFL field for the first time. It's equally thrilling and scary, right? When you've evaluated these guys, you think you know what you're going to get. Sometimes you're pleasantly surprised, and sometimes it's a little bit of bury your head under your pillow and cry yourself to sleep because they don't look good. But give me a rookie that you are fired up to watch here in the preseason.
All of the practice clips and the reports coming out of Houston, Derek Stingley appears to be the guy that we saw his freshman season. He looks like a monster on the perimeter. When you see him playing one-on-one and just the ability to shadow in space, to be able to stab and rock with receivers at the line of scrimmage, he's displaying all of that already for the Houston Texans. But now I want to see, can he take what he's already impressed us with on the practice field? Can he put it on tape in games? Because if he does that in the preseason, we now will have a better understanding of why Lovie Smith was like, this is the guy that we had to have to be a cornerstone for this defensive project. He's talented, but man, I just want to see if it's real.
Yeah, I mean, look, we've always said it through the draft process. If you get the best version of Derek Stingley, you might get the best player in the entire draft. He's got that type of ability, and it sounds like from the practice reports he's delivered. So I'm excited to see that one. He was the first corner taken in the draft. The guy that was right behind him is going to be on my list, and that's Sauce Gardner to me with the Jets. Wait, hold on. Wait a second. Stingley went before Sauce, right? Refresh my memory, Buck.
Yeah, he did. He went three.
He went three,
Sauce went four.
And Sauce went four. I might start losing my mind. I just want to make sure I'm not giving you anything that's not factually correct here. But I'm looking forward to watching all these Jets rookies. There's 4 of them. 3 first-round picks, high second-round pick. Sauce Gardner, the first one up. The corner, the length, the competitiveness. Wasn't challenged a lot at Cincinnati. He's going to get challenged. I think that starts here in the preseason. I think he's got some good work working against Elijah Moore and all the talented receivers they have with the Jets. I'm going to get to one of them here in just a second. But, Buck, getting a chance to see Ahmad Sauce Gardner, I'm anxious to see that length and that size and how well it plays.
Yeah, I'm anxious to see it too because they're so different in terms of their style of play. But in Sauce Gardner, you're getting a long, rangy corner, a guy who appears to be a perfect fit in this defense based on the success that we saw with the likes of Richard Sherman and some of the other long players that play in this defense. This guy's long. He has great ball skills. He's tough. He's tenacious when it comes to his approach. I love everything about Sauce Gardner, so I'm really excited to see him play as well.
Yeah, I feel like I cheated, right? You only got to use one name, and I said Jets top 4 picks. So it's a 4-to-1 swap. So I'm going to cede the floor to you on Garrett Wilson. I'm fired up to see him. What are you looking forward to seeing with the former Buckeye?
Well, with Garrett Wilson is the route running ability and how quickly can he become the number 1 receiver. Elijah Moore is out there on the outside. Corey Davis is another guy. But can Garrett Wilson supplant those guys and become Zach Wilson's best friend in the passing game? Terrific route runner, big-time playmaker. We've talked about it over and over and over again. The guys that are popping in this league are the guys that are terrific in terms of being able to use their skill and talent and technique as route runners to create separation consistently. He has all the tools in the toolbox to be the next guy to really pop and explode at this level.
He can go play above the rim, too. I mean, I think that's something we saw throughout his time there at Ohio State. So that ability to go up and get it for his young quarterback and Zach Wilson, that'll be big. The third first-rounder, Jermaine Johnson, I went back and was looking through my notes, Buck. This was my 9th overall player. Think about where they got him, trading back up into the bottom of the first round. Speed to power, he checks those boxes. We saw him at the Senior Bowl. Nobody had an answer for him there on the practice field, Buck. But this is somebody with Carl Lawson healthy on the other side. You look at the depth that they have. Everything I've been told from guys that have been out there with the Jets, this is the deepest D-line group they've had in a very long time. Keep everybody fresh. Jermaine Johnson, that speed to power is going to be a problem.
Yeah, speed to power is going to be a problem. And remember this, Robert Saleh was the D coordinator of San Francisco when San Francisco could just bring him in waves. Pass rush, rushing forward, knocking you around. Jermaine Johnson is a guy who has the talent to be able to do so. We saw last year at Florida State, he dominated and took over games at times. If he can just kind of give the Jets some of that to go with the rest of the guys that they have up front, yeah, the Jets defense will improve, and it'll improve in a hurry with Johnson making contributions at the line of scrimmage.
All right, that fourth high pick, top of the second round, they come and they get Breece Hall, running back out of Iowa State. Thought he was the best back in the draft. That was kind of a debate, right? It was a two-man race there when you think about Breece Hall. But Buck, I love Michael Carter. I love his game. I think Breece Hall is going to be the bell cow, and I'm talking this year, like right now.
Yeah, man, he's kind of funny because this would be a bad word for a New York Jets fan, but his patience is eerily similar to Le'Veon Bell in the whole.
Young
Lev. Guy is
early Lev.
Young Le'Veon. Yeah, young Lev, not old Lev, not boxing Le'Veon Bell. Young Le'Veon Bell that was able to be RB1, wide receiver 2. Breece Hall is outstanding, catching the ball out the backfield, can run between the tackles. There's a lot to love about his game. And then when you think about having the combination of Breece Hall, Michael Carter behind Zach Wilson with the young guys outside, if they can develop quickly, this core can be a problem in the AFC East for a long time.
Yeah, there's still holes in that Jet roster. They're not complete. But, man, that skill position group compared to what they were a couple of years ago to where they are now, it is a very, very talented group. Can't wait to watch those guys in the preseason again.